JB, the way the team came out after halftime, how did that set the tone for the rest of the game?
I mean, that was it, right? That was the call to duty. We understood what we had to do. That first half, we weren't satisfied with the way that we defended. We knew we were capable of more, and that was the tone at halftime. Was we just got to go out. We got to play Pistons basketball, right? In the first half, we kind of messed around with the game a little bit on the defensive end. They've got good offensive players, so if you do that, they're capable of keeping up with you staying in the game. But I thought we did a great job setting the tone, coming out in that third quarter.
Cade has 2 games in a row now, back-to-back with 19 points in the fourth quarter. I don't know what it is with him in the fourth where he's got that clutch gene, but what do you see from your perspective where he can just turn it on to close out these games?
I mean, he's big time, I think that's stating the obvious. I know I would love to see him shoot more than 2 free throws. I think he drives a lot and creates a lot of contact. So we'll go back, study it to see what's happening. But, there's no way that he plays the way that he plays and only gets to the free throw line 2 times. So we'll figure that part out, I guess. But, he's phenomenal. He's an unbelievable player, an unbelievable person, great teammate, great leader. Everything you want in a number 1 guy, Cade's it.
Hey, Coach, I think it was with 5 minutes left in the second quarter. Can you talk about how 𝗙𝗢𝗟𝗢𝗪 and Isaiah Stewart both kind of changed the game for you guys?
I mean, they're dominant and they're so versatile. There's so many things that they can do and so many ways we can use them as weapons on both sides of the floor. But they both, they live in the dog pound for a reason, right? That's their mentality. They do all the dirty work, all the physical things, and they win that battle, 99% of the time. So that energy is infectious. Their spirit's infectious, and our guys feed off of it.
Kind of circling back to Cade, only 3 turnovers tonight. Looks like he's been in kind of a rhythm of taking care of the ball a little bit better over the past several games. Talk about what you've seen from that aspect.
Growth, right? Understanding what plays are there and making the simple one over and over again. I think last year, when you go back and watch it, he got caught up in some of the home run plays, and that's where the turnovers came from. But I think this year, he's being much more deliberate with his passes, understanding, what's there and living in the moment, and understands how, that one turnover can impact, so much. It can be a momentum shift. So I think he's done a great job of maintaining himself in the moment and just making the simple read.
Yep, and at Media Day, 𝗙𝗢𝗟𝗢𝗪 said that the goal for he and Cade Cunningham was to move beyond being the number 1 lob connection and being the number 1 pick and roll connection. Can you just speak to how dominant they've been and where you see them in pursuit of that goal so far?
I mean, it's great that they have that, but it's the work that they put in every single day. They're a problem in the pick and roll. Obviously they're both of their ability to score, finish, all those things. But now they can both play make. JD is an elite passer when he catches the ball in the pocket. So defenses have tough decisions to make. If he's going to be aggressive going to the rim, they step up, he makes the easy pass. They stay back, he goes and finishes it. They bring in the weak side, he finds the guy in the corner for the 3. So there's just so many things that he can do from that position that puts the defense in a tough spot.
Another question on Duren, but earlier, last season he said he felt like he started the season soft, and this season he's been aggressive, not just the lob combination, but he's been more confident in his offensive game, rebounding. Is that a maturity for him? Is that skill development? What do you credit his strong start this season to?
Him, him understanding what we need from him. Again, the time that he put in over the summer, the work that he did over the summer, not just on his game, but on his body, how he's taking care of himself. He's always been talented. He's always been skilled. But now, he's got the confidence to match that skill and that talent. And that's what happens, and you see players like him take off. And I think we're seeing just the beginning of it.
Kerry.
Sorry. In terms of this kind of just being the beginning, it's his 4th 2020 game of his career. How kind of dynamic does he make you all when he's that consistent on offense, that consistent defensively, and then he's crashing the glass the way he is?
I mean, again, he just creates so many problems for defenses and offenses alike. When he's finishing and closing possessions for us on the defensive end of the floor, only giving people one opportunity, that gives our offense a chance to get out and get running. It also, when he finishes, he challenges, he contests, or he rebounds the ball, like it limits the opportunities that the offense gets. So there's so many ways that he's helping us. Tonight was a different night for him too, being on the perimeter more, a lot of switching more because of how they play marketing. So there's just, again, the versatility, but teams have to make adjustments, and when you got teams making adjustments through the season when they don't have a ton of practice time, there's typically holes there. So he was able to exploit those holes.
Karras gave you a little spark there in the first half off the bench. How have you seen him kind of acclimated as he's gotten more of these live reps?
Yeah, I mean, it's what we've asked him to do has been extremely difficult on him. Obviously you got to go through it, but to go through it and only be able to play, small batches isn't easy. And, he hasn't gotten frustrated with the moment. He hasn't tried to overdo it. He's kind of just tried to pick his spots, and, that's who he is. But there's, the more and more reps he gets, the more comfortable he gets with his teammates, the better off he's going to be. But it's not easy, coming into a new place with new teammates, trying to understand them and where you fit isn't an easy thing with a training camp and with the preseason. And so he's kind of had to work his way through that. Thank you.